G'day, welcome to the University of Tasmania podcast. My name is Keegan, Popowski. I'm joined by an extra special guest today. His name is Knapp. He graduated from the University of Oregon with a Bachelor of Applied Science. He did some further study at the Portland State University, some work for the Education Department at WA. He's done some further study at Southern Cross University, and a former CEO of Unisport Australia, former CEO of Australian Baseball Federation, and he's now the current Director of Sport at the University of Tasmania. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. You got it spot on. That's my brief bio. Thank you very much, Keegan.
I was going to say, I apologise because it probably doesn't do justice for your career so far because you've accomplished so much, but I had to condense it a little bit, but apologies for that. So, how you going?
Very well, thank you. It's good to be here and looking forward to chatting with you about sport and UTAS in particular.
Sounds good. Before we get into that, how have you been coping with COVID? You've been keeping busy at home?
Busy, yes. Productive, questionable. I have good days and bad days. It's very different. I'm a person that likes to come to work and have an ongoing dialogue about the workplace and banter and have some fun. And I miss all of that. But we're getting there. We're all in the same boat, and we've got to do the best we can with it.
Good, yeah. I'm certainly keen to get back and have a few games of tennis against you.
Yes, for sure.
It'd be a good break for your calf to come back, so you're fully fit.
Don't remind me. I think I am. I think I'm fully fit, but I'm no more Federer backhand overhits.
All right, no promises. Anyway, so moving on to our first topic, we're going to have a chat about a few things today, but the first one was performance pathway clubs. Do you want to explain that quickly?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of the strategic piece for the future of sport at UTAS in consultation with colleagues and Steph Taylor, of course, who's the head of our department, and right up virtually to the Vice Chancellor's office. And one of the areas that we all feel we can do better in is identifying certain clubs that suit the landscape and the country of Tasmania, the island of Tasmania, and develop performance pathway clubs that align with national sport, Olympic sport, and professional sport. And some of those natural performance pathway clubs for this campus in particular, and probably Launceston as well, would be AFL, cricket, rowing for sure. Let's see what happens with basketball in the NBL, possibly basketball and hockey. We do really well in hockey in the state. We produce really good athletes, and we have a really good hockey club. So, and around those programs, those performance pathway clubs, we can look at things like international scholarship programs. We were actually close with a program with our hockey club this year, supported by Global on the campus. And of course, that didn't get off the ground because of the COVID-19 situation. But I think we can do a lot with performance pathway clubs and affiliated clubs generally in building that program and helping the profile of sport. And most importantly, helping our student experience.
No, it sounds really good. I had a question. I just completely gone blank. But what was I going to ask? Something about international. Anyway, I'll think of it again.
Okay,
but we'll come back to that.
Cool.
So a big part of the sport here at the sporting program is our elite athlete program, and we're fortunate enough to have some. I remember the question. I'm going to go to that now.
Okay.
One of the benefits of being in Tasmania, and the only university in Tasmania, is that we do get such good access to the sporting organisations here in Tasmania. What's the difference between a university here and then a university on the mainland in terms of the access to sort of those NSOs and state bodies?
Look, I think the partnerships at the highest level are easier because of the existence of professional clubs. If you look at Melbourne, AFL, most Melbourne-based AFL clubs have a university partnership. The biggest ones being the Carlton arrangement with La Trobe and the Geelong arrangement with Deakin. So those higher level partnerships are probably easier to forge in large metropolitan areas. However, our focus will be more community to state association, and in some ways it's easier to develop a pathway in our environment than it is in the big city, where it is so much more competitive. And in actual fact, what you get there is a bottleneck. A lot of really good athletes, many of them university students who haven't quite reached their maturation peaks, get stuck at the bottleneck and are churned out of the system. And the funnel is pretty narrow with the number of elite athletes we can actually service. So I think we can service more elite and elite developing athletes in our system in Tasmania.
Yeah, that's certainly very unique here, and
Yeah.
it'd be excellent if we can get an AFL team, but that's a different conversation.
Yes.
Going on to elite athletes, we were going to chat about before. It's been proven that the studying at the same time is critical for post-sporting careers.
Yes.
And for some sports, you're not going to get a big income whilst you're playing. Like I know some hockey players have to work continuously whilst they're playing. How important, or do you want to talk about dual career education?
Yeah, look, I think it's critical. I think sport fits really well in the higher education environment. I believe in a co-curricular approach where the individual elite athletes should have a right to pursue both excellence in their sporting careers and their academic vocational preparation programs. Realistically, most elite athletes are athletes first and students second. Many of them take 5 to 6 up to 10 years to graduate. I don't think that's a problem as long as they're still excelling and working on their sport. But the really interesting aspects in respect to student outcomes in the dual career education space is there's an abundance of research that shows student athletes who are pursuing both their sport and an education are better retained in the system. They have higher achievement levels and they have better graduate outcomes. And if that doesn't sell the case for dual career education, I don't know what will, because those are the key objectives of a higher education institution, particularly in the space of graduate outcomes. So I think it will benefit sport on the UTAS campus and the institution to put a greater focus in that area, and that's one of my intentions.
Certainly, that'd be good to see that come to fruition. I want to get your thoughts on this concept of healthy campus. It's a concept by FISU, or International University Sports Federation. I had a meeting this morning and they mentioned that one briefly. Do you want to quickly just explain what that one is?
Yeah, look, a healthy campus is a really, really great initiative, and it gets into the concept of village merging into community, in that obviously our campuses were one of the first arenas to eliminate smoking on campus. Traditionally, campuses in Western countries have not been healthy places. Too much access to alcohol, too much, smoking, too little opportunity for exercise and play areas on campus, not great nutritional options. So and FISU, their program is very good. They're a little bit late to the arena on this, although pushing it now, and there's been some successful outcomes in Australia. But campuses in more park-like settings, campuses where there are easy, affordable, or free play areas, 3-on-3 courts. If you look at a campus like Macquarie University, you've got this beautiful aquatic center and gymnasium on one side of the road, and on the other side of the road you've got 3-on-3 courts and futsal courts, which are free. Those free court spaces are used more than the pay-as-you-go gym and pool. So a healthy campus has a lot of play, recreational, free space areas, affordable access to gyms and fitness activities. Accommodation centers will have a space for group fitness. We've built our virtual gym program out of the circumstances of COVID-19 constraints, we've built a really good product. Let's beam it into accommodation centers after the COVID crisis is when it's diminished, and let kids exercise for free. And it's those. I mean, the three most important factors in physical activity amongst students are access and convenience to facilities, affordability of facilities, and the attractiveness of the offer. So if we can tick more of those boxes, our participation will go up. And when you think about it, the gym and the club system, they're great systems for a number of students, but they're not mass participation activities. So if we want to get people active, we've got to give them opportunities to do it. And then on the nutritional side of things, it's really just ensuring what food offerings we have on campus are healthy ones. And I notice that in terms of sustainability and recycling and coffee cups, Lazenby's up the road, they have a lot of healthy offers. And they're into sustainability and recycling coffee cups and stuff. So we're tracking, and in this great state, in this beautiful environment, we have every opportunity to build really healthy campuses.
I think I read somewhere that students spend about thousands of hours at the campuses. So I suppose if that environment's not set up for them to be physically active, they're less likely to do, like you mentioned about accessibility. There's clear links between physical activity and success, and like you said, the more fun and games has a lot more reach than the organised sport.
Yes, it does. The biggest levels of physical activities are not actually in the gym, and they're not, the higher participation numbers are not actually in the club system or the gym system, as important as they are to an institution. They're kids out there playing, throwing a frisbee across the footy oval, that sort of stuff. We're doing some work right now with the Northern Transformation team on the sport plan for the new Inverness campus up north, and it is naturally by design a healthy looking campus. There's a walking, cycling, jogging track across the river connecting the north and the south campuses together. The spine that runs right down the main campus has sporting recreational areas coming off of it. The accommodation's all very near to the hub. It's a real village feel. So what we can develop there in terms of healthy campus is really, really great potential.
Good. I think the aim is to have a fair bit of walkability there at the campus, which will be good. So
definitely.
You're more inclined to catch a bus and that's going to help out with parking and those sort of issues that people think is going to come up there. But do you think we're going to get support from the top in terms of the healthy campus?
Oh yeah, it's already there. You can see the influence of management and leadership at UTAS in the Inverness campus design, and our executives get it. The vice chancellor is the patron of the cricket club, and he's a member of the rowing club. The chief operations officer is a member of the rowing club. So they walk the talk, and the support there is good, which just means that we can really achieve a lot in this space, I believe.
No, that's excellent. That certainly helps as well.
And where we sit in student experience, Steph Taylor, the executive director of student experience, gets sport and gets how it contributes to experience and student outcomes. So we have a lot of support.
Excellent, that's good. I'm really excited to see how that comes along.
Yeah.
The last topic that we're going to chat about is really this project in itself, which is the podcast that we've started recently. Before I go into my thoughts, what do you think? What do you think a podcast is beneficial?
Well, we had the discussion some time ago about how are we going to elevate the profile of sport at UTAS and get a broader reach to community and promote our clubs and promote our sport offer and our people. And I think you took the initiative to go, well, I can set up a podcast studio and I can set up an interview schedule, and away we go. But when you think of all the people that we can engage in this process, not just as listeners, but as interviewees, staff members who do interesting things on weekends with sport, exercise, fitness, or exploration in the wilderness. You've done a few interviews with elite athletes, which are very interesting. There are students that do amazing things on the weekend that we have no idea what they do. You know, we have divers, and we have mountaineers, and we have whitewater people. So the variety that you can project through a podcast schedule is really cool, and it's not only is it an opportunity to recognize and honor our highest achievers, but to learn more about our staff, to learn more about our students, and promote the lifestyle that we are engaged in.
It's certainly what I was sort of thinking. I've been here this is my 6th year here at UTAS, and I've been fortunate enough to meet some awesome lecturers and some elite athletes, and some of the conversations I've had, I thought, this would be, valuable to, help promote the brand and sort of show off some of the awesome people that we have here at UTAS. I think coming up, I'm hoping to get Casey Mainsbridge, who's been involved in the study in extra time, who it's about getting up from your desk to have little physical activity breaks, and at the moment working from home, that's extremely valuable. So I thought, what a good opportunity to share that.
Yeah, and I've had a few conversations with Casey on the whole deal, and he gets healthy campus, healthy lifestyle as well as anybody. He's a bit of a guru in that space. So that'll be I'll listen in. That'll be an interesting interview for sure. Yeah,
it's exciting. I'm hoping to get some former students, maybe even Hamish Peacock, who's trying to get to the Olympic Games, and then Nick Earl, who's a staff member. He's qualified for the marathon in the Olympic Games, and then, like you said, some different staff members who just average Joe will be exciting to hear that.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. One of the things that is so wonderful about a campus is you have people like that who are such high achievers in various areas. But the campus is a great leveler because we're actually all here learning. None of us are accomplished, complete academics. So we're all actually here learning, preparing for, another career apart from sport. And the fact that those people can come to campus and be comfortable and not be worried about this, that, or the other associated with their sport, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you very much for coming in.
Pleasure.
Is there anything else you wanted to add, or?
No, just congratulations on this initiative, Keegan, and I think you deserve full credit, and you should take full credit. Good on you.
I'll take it where I can get it. Thank you if you're tuning in to listen to this. Give us a follow so you don't miss out on our upcoming interviews. But thank you again, Don.
Pleasure.